Healthy forests are important for everyone. They provide clean drinking water, fresh air, places to camp and recreate, and habitat for wildlife. However, our northern Colorado forests are not as healthy as they once were because fire has been removed from these systems. Fire is as much a part of a healthy forest as sunshine and rain. Suppressing fires for 100 years left our forests too uniform and with too many trees. To restore forest health, we need to bring fire back.
In order to do full restoration, you need that fire component to reduce the surface fuels, to release the nutrients that are in the needles, to get the wildflowers to come up that are stimulated by smoke and fire.
Although the science has made it clear that fire is part of a healthy northern Colorado forest, reintroducing fire is not a simple matter. More people than ever are living or recreating in our forests, and more watershed values are at risk.
The landscape is comprised of a public-private ownership, roughly half. To have that private landowner perspective and the work that we do with private landowners intermixed with what is happening on federal lands is critically important. To treat one without the other doesn't make sense. It's all lands, all hands. That the landscape does not care about ownership or boundaries.
Ultimately, coexisting with fire in our natural landscape will require the involvement of a wide range of stakeholders, from the U.S. Forest Service to individual landowners.
You know, a lot of times the best place to manage a fire might be on two different parcels of land and with two different landowners. And so if we can try to identify projects that work with the land itself, that can be really critical in terms of our success, especially when we're doing broadcast burning.
Fortunately, in our area, partners have started working together to build a landscape based on shared stewardship.
We feel that all these agencies working together, we can achieve that proper management. And we're very grateful for their financial help and actually their physical help as well. It's a big piece of land, and cutting one tree at a time doesn't get us very far. So if we get more people to help and more money to do the work, it just means much more impact.
To help achieve the level of forest restoration our landscapes and communities need, partners from across the Front Range have formed the Northern Colorado Fireshed Collaborative.
I like to think of a fireshed kind of similar to a watershed in that it's a large area of land that's kind of affected by a particular force of nature, only in this case, instead of water, it's fire. So it's thinking about how fire could spread across a larger landscape. And that's why we're actually starting to look at restoration in terms of firesheds, which may or may not be under a single ownership, but they look at a broader landscape that fire could utilize as it's moving through the system.
The Northern Colorado Fireshed Collaborative is made up of a diverse group of stakeholders, from the U.S. Forest Service to municipal water providers, researchers, local nonprofits, businesses, and landowners. We are partnering to protect communities, make our forests more resilient, and keep our water supplies reliable. Working together, we can increase the scale and pace of forest restoration by bringing fire back into our fireshed management toolbox.